Hello everyone, I'm Crystal Cruz. More pain at the pump. It seems every time you fill up, prices are higher than the day before. Gas prices always tick up this time of the year, but with the war with Iran, it's making it worse. AAA says the national average is now just shy of $4 a gallon. That's up from yesterday and more than $1 higher than this time last year. And in Odessa, for example, it's the same story. So with spring travel in full swing, how can you keep more cash in your wallet? AAA says a few small changes can save you money, not rapidly accelerating, keeping your tires properly inflated, and using apps to find the cheapest gas near you.
We do have a fuel cost calculator where you can put your starting point and your end point on your road trip on our website, and that'll calculate your estimated fuel costs. And that helps families budget and save.
Some other tips. AAA says a little planning can go a long way when it comes to saving gas, such as doing your errands in one trip and trying to stay off the roads during busy traffic times. And even where you park can help out. AAA says park in the shade and use a sunshade so your car stays cooler and you don't have to blast the AC so much, because less AC means less gas used. Clout is a term used by teenagers to describe social media fame or influence. But ECISD police say that for some students in Odessa, chasing that clout is leading them straight to a jail cell. We're talking about what appears to be social media posts making threats to schools. ECISD police warn students that every real threat, real or fake, carries real-world consequences like jail time and a criminal record. While they tell us the number of school threats has been on the decline, the severity of the threats has increased in recent years. So the best choice for kids is to think before they do something that could potentially ruin their lives.
Social media has a lot of negative effects when it's given out to a whole bunch of youth, especially because, like, you use the word clout. I usually don't use the slang terminologies when I'm doing this, but it's very much that for a lot of kids. It is attention they might not get elsewhere, so they believe, I can do this and I can get attention. I'll be thought of as the cool kid. And then they go to jail.
ECISD police say that 15 seconds of digital fame isn't worth a lifetime of legal consequences. Video games aren't just flying off the shelves, some are being stolen. And now a big break in one of those cases in Hobbs. The Hobbs Police Department says it recovered thousands of dollars in stolen merchandise after a burglary on West Broadway. Officers worked with nearby businesses using surveillance video to track down the suspects. In the end, they recovered more than $11,000 worth of stolen Halo games, including action figures, costumes, and even books. Police say the investigation is still ongoing, but they're thanking local businesses and helping make the bust. Midland police need your help tonight after vandalism at a brand new city facility. Officers say this man was caught graffitiing a pentagram and the number 666 at the new city baseball fields on East Cuthbert. Now, if you recognize this guy or have any information, contact Midland Crime Stoppers. If your tip leads to an arrest or solves the case, you could be eligible for a cash reward. Midland Crime Stoppers also need your help finding this woman. This is 33-year-old Tiffany Mullen. She's wanted for hitting a police officer. Authorities say there's a $500 cash reward for information that leads to her arrest. Now, get this, if your tip leads to her arrest from now until April 3rd, you could get an even higher cash reward.
Good news, the blowing dust advisory has been allowed to expire. That was around 9 o'clock tonight, so just about an hour ago. Unfortunately, that wind advisory, that's not going away until 3 a.m. What? That's because those winds are still staying strong. Now, nothing we can't handle, of course. Northeast winds sustained 20 miles an hour. Temperatures have been kind of hanging around those low to mid 50s throughout much of this afternoon. Humidity is going down despite a lot of that low level cloud, but look at those gusts. That's why we still have the wind advisory in effect. Over 30 miles an hour in Big Spring, Dryden, and Presidio. Just under 30 for Andrews, Odessa, and Midland. You'll still notice it, especially if you're out driving late tonight. Those wind warnings, they are finally actually gone now, so never mind, I was just kidding. So what are we looking at on radar? Not a whole lot, maybe a couple isolated little sprinkles towards San Angelo and Brownwood, but tomorrow actually not much different than today. Lots of cloud cover. The sun comes out by the late evening, but by then it's too late to really see any significant warm up. But you know what? I'm okay with this. Crystal?
Jordan, thanks. Well, folks in Odessa tried their luck at the poker table tonight, all while raising awareness for children experiencing abuse. This is Harmony Home's annual casino night fundraiser called Once Upon a Hope, an event to raise money for the nonprofit's operations and the children they help every single day. Organizers say although their work is serious, it's important to have fun while working toward the mission to end child abuse.
Within our advocacy center, we really work with our children and the families in our community to cope with trauma. And we walk them through processes, and we let them know that they're not alone and they have support here close by that will walk them through each step of the way so that they can begin that healing process whenever they go through those times in life that are not so nice.
All of the money raised tonight will go toward the Advocacy Center's operations. State Representative Brooks Landgraf of Odessa will add a new role to his resume, joining the State House Select Committee on Governmental Oversight. Now, this is a new committee focused on strengthening transparency, accountability, and efficiency of services across the state. That includes evaluating how existing laws affect Texans, reviewing applications on public information, and open meeting laws. Landgraf says this committee is important for tackling issues in the Permian Basin. And Midland County Sheriff David Kreiner will now serve on the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement. Governor Abbott appointed Kreiner to the job this week. The commission's goal is to establish and enforce law enforcement standards for agencies across the state. Sheriff Kreiner will serve on the commission for the next 5 years. A simple challenge is making a big difference across Midland. Santa Rita Elementary students spent weeks collecting plastic bags, all in an effort to keep their community clean. For more than a month, students across the state took part in a plastic bag recycling challenge, an initiative led by HEB. The goal, turn everyday habits into a lasting impact while encouraging families to get involved.
For the entire month, from March 2nd through April 4th this year, we have challenged local schools to recycle their plastic bags and do their part to making sure that we're keeping Midland beautiful.
The challenge not only helps reduce waste, but also teaches students the importance of recycling at a young age. Organizers say it's about building habits that last, inspiring the next generation to take pride in their community, one bag at a time. Children from across the Permian Basin searched high and low for Easter eggs across Inspiration Park today, all thanks to Spectrum of Solutions. This was their second annual hunt, featuring several activities, including face painting, free food, and even a guest appearance by the Easter Bunny. Organizers say the goal is to provide a safe space for children with special needs to feel appreciated and enjoy the Easter tradition.
We do it as free for the community of IDD. That's anything from like autism, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, kind of any developmental disability that kind of hinders anything at all. We just want to celebrate and accept it, and then we want to have something very inclusive, sensory friendly, everything for that. So this is a free Easter egg hunt.
There will also be an Easter egg hunt for the organization's adult clients on April 3rd. Well, tonight we are bringing you our final story from the Permian Basin Rehabilitation Center, featuring one little boy where every step and every word marks a major milestone. Meet Jonathan. He was diagnosed with cerebral palsy, a condition that impacts his balance, strength, and mobility. His family says the news was unexpected, but it led them to the Permian Basin Rehabilitation Center, where therapy is built around play and progress. His physical therapists are helping Jonathan gain strength and stability with the goal of walking on his own, while speech therapy is helping him develop his voice and learn how to communicate.
Jonathan is fearless. He really is. Every day he comes in here, he is not scared of jumping off that, jumping off this, rolling onto this, and that's really something that has stood out with him specifically, is he's a fearless kid.
To help patients just like Jonathan, just scan that QR code or call this number on the screen. If you make a donation of $50 or more, you'll be entered into a drawing for a $3,000 Visa gift card. The drawing will be on the PBRC's Facebook Live Monday, March 30th at 3 p.m. Also, be sure to tune in to our half-hour telethon special. That's at 6:30 p.m. right here on News West 9 on Saturday. Well, heading to work next week may be a bit of a headache for folks in Northwest Midland. Construction work at the Loop 250 bridge at Midkiff is set to start Monday. A single lane will be closed on the loop from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and both lanes will close overnight from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. TxDOT is working on the bridge for about 4 days. Once that's finished, they'll move on to the bridge at Wadley. Well, next at 10, Port Arthur residents are raising concerns about what may be lingering in the air after that Valero refinery explosion. Plus, President Trump signs an executive order to pay TSA agents. The question is, when will they get that money and when will airport lines return to normal? After a long night in the Senate, lawmakers passed a unanimous bill to end the partial government shutdown, but House Republicans fought back and stopped the bill from passing, extending the government's partial shutdown of the Department of Homeland Security. And frustration is growing over hours-long security waits as spring break travel kicks into high gear for some places. Ryan Abel has the story.
A whirlwind 24 hours in the DHS funding fight. Amid chaos at the nation's airports and pressure from President Donald Trump,
they need to end the shutdown immediately.
The Senate, in a rare overnight session, unanimously voting to fund most Department of Homeland Security agencies.
Senate Democrats were clear. No blank check for a lawless ICE and Border Patrol. This long overdue agreement funds TSA, the Coast Guard, FEMA, CISA.
But House Republicans refusing to get on board are putting up their own DHS funding bill, setting up another clash with the Senate and extending the department shutdown.
We're not going to risk not funding the agencies that keep the American people safe.
The political stalemate in Washington, stalling security lines at most major airports around the country.
And this is ridiculous.
It really is as bad as they say it is.
Travelers left waiting at some TSA checkpoints for 4 or more hours as agents called out sick or quit altogether after going unpaid since the start of the shutdown more than 40 days ago.
Unfortunately, people are having to quit because it's just not sustainable. So the bottom line message is figure out a plan.
But even if the legislation does clear Congress and is signed by the president, it will take time for TSA to get back to full strength. In Washington, Brian Abel reporting.
President Trump has now signed an executive order to pay TSA officers while the DHS funding stalemate drags on, potentially providing relief soon to people waiting in those long lines at the nation's airports. TSA could get paid as soon as Monday, but it's unclear how quickly airport delays will recover. House Republicans are putting forward their own funding bill, but the top Democrat in the Senate says that plan is dead on arrival. The Conservative Political Action Conference is now underway in Grapevine, Texas, and today Governor Abbott took the stage. He talked about border enforcement, school vouchers, and the battle against Epic City. That's a Muslim-centric community developers want to build in Collin County. The governor wrapped up with a few words on State Representative James Tallarico, a Democrat running for Senate.
He is wrong for Texas, and we are going to ensure that we secure our state from such a takeover. We're going to keep Texas red. We're going to safeguard the values that keep Texas, Texas.
Tallarico hasn't responded to Governor Abbott's comments so far. He'll face the winner of May's Republican primary runoff, Senator John Cornyn, or Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton. Port Arthur residents are still looking for answers after Monday night's explosion at the Valero Port Arthur refinery. Many residents are concerned with what was emitted in the air. A new report filed with the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality shows thousands of pounds of pollutants were released, some above state limits. Spencer Plato has the latest.
Feeding my dog, finna bring him outside to go out, and boom!
A powerful explosion that not only shook homes, but sparked immediate fear about what they couldn't see.
First thing I thought about, some gas that can knock you out, kill you right then on the spot.
A report filed with the state shows the incident was more than just a fire. It was an emissions event. TCEQ says 3 categories exceeded the state's limits, with particulate matter known as smoke was more than 129 times higher, carbon monoxide more than 5 times higher, and VOCs, known as volatile organic compounds, 1.6 times higher. pollutants that can impact breathing, heart health, and overall safety.
Your nose may pick it up, you can't see it, but now it's in your lungs. And what it does is it changes gases in your lungs between oxygen and carbon dioxide, and in that exchange goes directly into your bloodstream where it affects your body and your various organs as your body transports oxygen throughout itself.
For community environmentalists, the incident is part of a bigger, ongoing issue.
We have a disproportionate number of kids that live right there in that housing project with asthma, bronchitis, skin disorders, you name it, it's there. There's a large number of people that have died from cancer, not only in this community, but other communities.
Valero says the response was immediate and that the air quality was closely monitored. In a statement, the company says in part, the shelter in place remained in effect until there was no air quality threat. Air monitoring from Valero, the Port Arthur Fire Department, and TCEQ shows no concerns. But for some residents, the fear of what they can't see or smell still lingers.
What's in the air and what's dropping down on you, that's a big concern.
Well, Jordan, I stepped outside tonight and it is downright chilly after all that wind blew in.
Oh yeah, and that wind is certainly making it feel a lot colder, but the good news is our air quality has returned back to relative normalcy, at least for out here, given all the dust that we have. Lots of cloud cover though, that's not going anywhere until the wind shift happens late tomorrow night. I got those details next. Welcome back, everyone. We're jumping right into your weather picture of the day, coming in from Mary Lou Flores out of McCamey, and it was overcast skies all day long today. You probably noticed that higher humidity value, but that's the thing that actually stopped a whole lot of these dust storms from getting too bad. We kind of had a mix of overcast skies and a little bit of that haze down near the ground. Don't get confused by this, but if you look at the almanac and you look at the high, it says we got up to 74 degrees. When? Well, that was around midnight, you know, like 24 hours ago, because we were still cooling down before the front came through. Then we bottomed out at about 51. So this wasn't like this was the hottest temperature recorded during this day. Got it? Great. All right, what are we at now? We're at 54. Okay, we've been in the 50s, low to mid 50s throughout much of today because of that cloud cover, because of that sustained wind. High pressure, woo, wow. Yeah, that should help clear out a lot of cloud cover come tomorrow night. But until then, we still have the effects of that front, cooler temperatures tonight, and still those occasionally strong wind gusts up to 35 in Big Spring, just under 30 for Midland, Odessa, and Andrews, closing in on 40 near Presidio. The good news is the wind advisory did expire a little bit earlier. High wind warning is still in effect for the Guadalupe Mountains until 3 a.m. just because the mountain ranges tend to see much stronger gusts than anything we get in the Permian. In terms of action on radar, there are a couple of showers from this front. They're all just out to our east. And that's going to be the case kind of heading into early tomorrow morning, maybe a pop-up sprinkle, but mainly for our far easternmost counties. Don't expect it if you're around the I-20 corridor. If we do get some, great. I don't expect it though. 45 for tonight, lots of cloud cover. That's actually normal. Believe it or not, I know we have been so hot lately, it's hard to remember what normal is like. Well, here are those pop-up showers in the early morning. They're gone by around 10 a.m. Cloud cover begins clearing out once southerly winds come back into play. But by the time this comes into play, we aren't going to be able to warm up beyond many of those mid-60s for the most part. Throughout your Sunday, stronger winds coming in from the south and even stronger on Monday will result in overall warm temperatures. Here's what I mean. This is statewide for the next 3 days. So tomorrow I got a mix of 60s and 70s across the Lone Star State. Very nice, very seasonable. Then we hit Sunday and we're all just right back into those 80s. Ooh, okay. Well, what about Monday then? How about more of those upper 80s and a few 90s getting thrown in too? Boy, we can't catch a break, can we? You can, you just have to wait a little bit longer. I mean that because we will get out of the 90s and 80s by Wednesday. It's a cold front. It's coming in on April Fool's Day, no joke. And we go right back up, but by next weekend, 60s and 70s finally make a full return. Crystal?
Jordan, thanks. Permian Basin boys and girls soccer hope to keep their titles hopes alive. We have highlights from the regional semifinals next.
Welcome back, West Texas. Corey McIntyre here with your News West 9 Sports. We're wrapping up the week the same way that we started it, in Abilene with some high-stakes playoff soccer. The Greenwood girls and the Odessa High boys are fighting to survive and advance to its first regional final in program history. Let's see who's moving on and who's going home. The Greenwood faithful came out to support despite frigid temperatures and high winds, as you see here on this kick. Brownwood tries his shots, but it completely sails over. Now the Rangerettes have possession, and Emily Jones gets around a few defenders and tries one, but it is blocked. Game still scoreless. The Lions in prime position for a goal, but it is denied by Farrah Fortner. She was a monster in this game. Addison Adam looking to put the Rangerettes on top, but the Lions stand firm on their side as well. After a stalemate in the first half, Emily Jones turned it up a notch and scored 2 goals in 7 minutes in the second half to take this game 2-0. Here's Jones on her excitement about the next round and how the Rangerettes plan on staying alive.
I'm really excited to go into the regional finals. I think everyone's pretty excited. Everyone's been working hard this season. I just think we got to keep interpreting what we do in practice into our next game.
Now let's see if the Broncos can stay alive. The Wildcats came out aggressive to start. Kick by Asumani Salumu is too high. Broncos matching their energy, but Diego Terrazas can't control the rock from the corner pass. Broncos with yet another golden opportunity, but Dylan Ariola's header is too strong. 6 minutes to go. The Wildcats looking to put one on the board, and Ivan Martinez knocks it through. And Lake Highlands lead 1-0. Broncos looking to match that score, but all efforts will fall short. The Wildcats will put one more up on the board, and the Broncos' incredible postseason run ends here in Abilene with the final score of 2-0. And as for Greenwood, they survived one more week. So if you want more information on who they play in the next round, just stay with News West 9 all postseason long. Reporting in Abilene, I'm Corey McIntyre.
It's a historic day for Big Bend Border Patrol. It's Dolly the horse's first birthday today. She's the first foal ever born into Border Patrol's 100-year history. And now she's getting ready to join the Horse Patrol. She was born at the Sierra Blanca station to her mom, Juanita, and has a striking blue eye. Horse Patrol celebrated her birthday today with an inaugural trail ride. Agents say she's a valuable member of the team who helps them cover rugged terrain and is a great friend. That's cool. 2 different color eyes. I forgot what that's called. Do you remember?
Oh, there's some type of hypo something or other.
I can't remember.
Heterochromia?
There we go.
Is that what you said? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Okay.
Hey, that
So
was somebody smart back
Hey,
there.
there we go. That's why they're behind the scenes producing the shows. Well, you know what? I got a whole lot of going on here with weather. We have 65 and mostly cloudy skies throughout the day tomorrow. The sun comes out late. It's not enough to warm us up. Sunday, it warms us up. We go up to the 80s, then to the 90s, and then no joke, on April Fool's Day, we do drop down. There might be the best day for some isolated rain chances, just popping up here and there. I'm not looking at anything severe as of now, but it is a decent cold front. East Texas will likely deal with some more nasty weather than we are.
All right, enjoy that cool weather. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great weekend.